welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I watch a lot of Netflix or just movies in general, and I feel like these rom-com or young adult movies or coming of age movies that I used to watch and I still watch. Now I feel like now that I'm more mature and older than I used to be, I understand these things and the things that were kind of wrong, were done wrong in these movies, or the things that a younger audience should is not or might not be good for the younger audience. So let's talk about it. So the number one thing that has always bothered me and still bothers me is the fact that they never really choose the age appropriate actors to to play the characters. For example, there are so many like rom-coms and coming of age movies that are portrayed as like where the characters are portrayed as high schoolers. And I've checked. I before doing this video, I did some research and I checked that almost most of them, and honestly I think all of them, were above the age of 25. For example, let's take the age of the teenage hot heartthrob right now, that is Noah Centineo, and he is 24 years of age. I just checked that on Google right now. Right now in this moment he's 24-year-old, and I feel like the people who are in high school are supposed to be like 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 to be the max, but somebody as old as 24, or John Ambrose, I don't remember the guy's name. What was the guy's name? I don't know. The guy, his character's name was John Ambrose in To All the Boys I Loved Before movie, and his age is 26, and he is, I guess, he has a fiance and he's about to get married. So people like these are way above the age of what high schoolers are supposed to be, and this might seem like a small thing to you, but I feel like things like these create a lot of insecurities in the age of people like me. I did my high school, and I finished my high school a few months ago, and honestly a lot of people my age, and also me, honestly I feel like we see these people who are so much more older than they're supposed to, that their character is supposed to be, and I feel like that's what a high school should look like, that's what a high schooler should look like. And that might not make much sense to you, but that creates so much insecurities and so much like issues in younger kids. And I feel like there's so many mind-blowing kids or like child actors who could have easily played those roles, and they would have played it better, or they would have made the character more relatable or more like actually realistic. So the next thing that I personally have always felt or like thought about, and I feel like I have seen this going on Twitter a lot lately with the Kissing Booth movie. And the thing that I'm going to talk about is toxic love interest that they show in these movies. So what I'm talking about right now, a few days ago I checked my Twitter, and there were a lot of people who had like issues with Kissing Booth, because if you see the first part, the guy or like the character Noah Flynn is a very toxic and a very like aggressive guy, and he forces and he just kind of beats other guys a lot, and he kind of little bit forced Elle to not be with anybody else and just be with him, and that honestly bothered me a lot. And a lot of people are a fan of that movie, and they might get annoyed with me saying this, but I feel like that's wrong, because there's so many younger audience who are watching that movie and they're thinking, oh, that's what a guy should do, or that's what a guy should supposed to do. And that was so toxic and so terrible to watch, and I was cringing the whole time, and I was just like, this is terrible. And this is just one of the movies I'm talking about, and I'm not just blasting Kissing Booth about it, but there's so many movies. I don't remember, cannot think of these names right now, but there's so many movies where, and I'm talking about the guy in this movie, but there's so many movies where the girl could be toxic as well. And I just feel like this portrays the message that this is the kind of behavior that guy does, or this is supposed to be nice or cute or something like that, which is not the case. This is toxic and you should be stay away from people like these. And it just bothers me that they're showing it, and there are so many kids and so many fans and so many young girls and guys watching it, and they're thinking, oh my god, that's what it's supposed to be like. But it's not, and it's toxic. He had anger management issues, and it's just so terrible to watch, honestly, I feel like. And that's just my personal. These stories are really unrealistic, and you might be like, oh my god, it's a movie, it's supposed to be unrealistic, it's a rom-com, obviously it's supposed to be entertaining and unrealistic. But I think like these movies could be entertaining as well as realistic. For example, let me give you an example. I know that high school is really stressful, and not just high school, school in general is very stressful. There's so many things that you have. A kid might be, or any guy or girl might be going through, and there's so many things. And I just went through school. I just graduated high school, so I feel like I know these things, but none of that is portrayed. Because I feel like and honestly, you might agree with me on this, is the fact that if you see these realistic things, you might relate to these, and it still would be more entertaining to you. It still would be entertaining to you, at least. So let me talk about them. Number one thing that I feel is the most stressful in schools is, or it could just be my opinion, or just where I come from, or which schools I went through, or something like that. But number one thing that gave me most stress was studies and exams. And that's what the point of school is. And I feel like these things are not talked about as much as they should be. For example, like, I get it, exams are important and stuff, but like I had to go through so many exams, like weekly exams, monthly exams, and then there were like annual exams, and there were like these exams and those exams, and then tests and stuff. Those used to drive me crazy and give me so much stress I cannot even tell you about. And these are the things that should be like talked about, and I feel like these things people could relate more to. For example, these are realistic things, right? These are things that high schoolers actually go through. One of them is, as I said, exams. Second could be studies. Third could be career pressures that kids are supposed to, like, when we are in high schools or when we are in school, we are supposed to choose these subjects and these streams and stuff that we have no idea about what we're going to do in future, but we have to base all of our future on our streams, which is so stressful. So things like these, and you might think these might not be entertaining, but there's so many things like these that if they're shown in these movies, they could help out a lot of teens. So I just feel like those stories are very unrealistic. And honestly, tell me one movie, like honestly, I'm just not even kidding. Tell me or comment down below one movie that you have watched where the students or high schoolers or school kids are actually giving exams or studying. All I see in these movies are just people going to parties and just, you know, hanging out with their friends all day. Fourth thing and the last thing that bothers me about these movies are similar stories or similar plot twists, honestly. So these number one example of this point is the Kissing Booth and To All the Boys I Loved Before movie. If you see the second part of this movie, the first parts are quite different, not a lot of different, they are similar, to be honest, but the second part of these movies, that is P.S. I Still Love You and Kissing Booth 2, are literally same movies with a little bit differences. And I watched Kissing Booth 2 because I was really bored, and I watched that movie and I was so shocked as to how similar it was to the P.S. I Still Love You movie. Literally, I'm sorry for giving you spoiler if you haven't watched that movie, but both Lara Jean as well as Elle had chance to be with a better guy, but they both broke the hearts of both of them good guys, honestly, and went back to the low-key toxic guys, which was so weird. And so, like, I mean, I get it, they're trying to make it cute and entertaining and stuff like that, but they were literally the same movie, and I was like, what is happening? I was so shocked, and literally all my friends who have watched that movie were like, why did we even watch this movie if you had to make literally a similar movie to the one they have already watched. And it's just one example, but all the movies I have, like rom-com or coming of age movies in particular I've watched, have had the similar literally storyline. And you might think that's what it's supposed to be like, oh, the popular girl and the nerdy, popular guy and the nerdy girl, or no matter what they went through they come back together, stuff like that. That's what's supposed to happen. But I feel like you could at least make it a little bit different and realistic. And honestly, we are at an age where there's so many things have changed from the movies that we watched before, like Mean Girls or 10 Things I Hate About You, or these kind of iconic movies that people still talk about. I feel like literally the same storyline is still going on even after so many years, and I feel like everybody and people need a change, and these things should, like these storylines should change about now. And those were all my opinions and all the things that I thought personally were wrong with these movies. If you agree with any of them, or if you think similar to me, or if you have any more points like me, comment them down below. I would love to hear it from you guys. And again, I just want to, before ending this video, I just want to say that these were all my personal opinions, and I feel your opinions could be different from me, and that's all right. I accept it. That's just my opinion, and I hope even if you might not agree to it, you still understand what I'm trying to say, because I feel like these things need to be talked more about. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, or even if you did not, you still would like understand what I'm trying to say. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you do like my videos, and that would mean a lot. And don't forget to click the notification little bell that is next to the subscribe button, I think, because that would help you get notified every time I post new videos. And thank you so much for watching. I see you next time. Bye.